Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Fernandizzo. I'm over here in my garage with my 2022 KLR 650. It's a 2022 model. It's got a few things on it. It came with the bags. This is the adventure package. So it came with the bags and this lower crash bar right here and this upper bar that's kind of like a light bar that has these running lamps, and yeah. So I've done a few things to it, namely adding this crash bar right here. This is the T-Rex crash bar. I've added a riser for the windshield. I've added this little unit here, which is like $100 unit. They make much better units now, and it just kind of wires in underneath all this stuff. You can kind of see the wires going back there. If you come in, it's neat. It's kind of like cleaned up because it's coming through this hole right here. The wire does to the I guess the Apple and Android CarPlay module right here. It hooks up Bluetooth and does Apple CarPlay. It's real finicky, so I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. I think there's better units. I'm not sure exactly what's here. I'll show you what the module is. I got a little button that I wired up to it so you can turn it on and off. But it's a V-Sisto. It was a basic unit for $100. It comes with, cameras and stuff like that. It's got cameras in the front and the back. It's got a GPS unit and stuff like that. So it comes with tire pressure monitoring and all that stuff. And if you want, you can connect it to, I got it set to Android Auto. But like I said, it's kind of finicky. So I don't really use it that much. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, that's that little add-on. It came with the lights, the auxiliary lights. As you can see, I added this USB charging unit. It came with the regular 12 volt, the car hookup control right there, just to charge stuff using like a carport charger. I've added some. Let's see here. What is this? These D-Flex hand grips. Painted them black. These are about $60-$70. I got them on sale. Put those on in the Renthal kind of grip cover. Just in case, just gives it a little bit of padding there in case you fall face first into that handlebar. Yeah. Besides the crash bars, we got the skid plate right here. This is also the T-Rex skid plate. It's the full length skid plate. It goes all the way to the back, covers the suspension swing arm right there. And then I installed a Tusk low profile drain plug, but it cracked on me, so I had to get an off-brand one. I was really upset about the Tusk because I had just done oil change. I put Motul 7100 oil in it, and the Tusk freaking low profile drain plug cracked on me. Just cracked, almost disintegrated. It had multiple cracks on it. I'll show you pictures in the attachments or something. I also added these Tusk foot pegs, which held up really good. I like these. So I'm not sure what you're doing with your drain plugs, Tusk, but you guys suck. Your drain plugs suck. Like I said, I always put Motul 7100 oil in it. Keeps it running nice and clean, no oil burning, nothing like that. And I ripped the shit out of this thing. Over here, I got the Z900 mirrors. They're off of my Z900 over here. I don't have those mirrors, so I just added them on to my KLR. And yeah. So besides that stuff, I got an exhaust. This is a Delcovic This was about $100. It sounds pretty good. I'm gonna start it up for you guys. See what you think here. Try not to die, so I'll turn that off. I don't want any carbon monoxide poisoning or whatever, but yeah, so this is the kind of the setup that I got. And as you can see, this is how I put my camping stuff on the back before I head out on a trip. And these are controls for the cameras and stuff, so I got it hooked up right here by my front brake. So overall, as far as the KLR goes, I've been kind of debating whether I really like this bike or not. And to be honest with you, it's not the best adventure bike out there. You know, there's a lot faster, more capable bikes, but I was just putting this camping gear on here, and I was thinking, you know, when I go camping, I don't use the best shit. I use the shit that is like works, you know, and it's not the best stuff, but it if I lose any of this stuff in here, I mean, I'm not gonna be that butthurt about it, you know, and that's kind of the whole idea behind this as well. If I dump this bike in a creek and it sits in there for an hour while I try to fish it out, am I really going to be upset when the motor starts acting up and it gets a bunch of shit in the exhaust? I mean, this is a camp bike, just like my camping gear. This is a camp bike. It's got the crash bars, and I've dropped it plenty of times. I've dropped it on these bags. The bags just break away, and then you just clip them back on. So people talk a lot of shit about these bags, but they work. They held up. I have taken 4 or 5 hardcore spills on this bike at speed, and these just break off and clip back on. When I say break off, I don't mean they break. It just means that they break off of this, which prevents the bag from breaking, which is what you want. This bike is not the best bike out there. It's not the fastest. It's not the prettiest, although ADV bikes are just kind of ugly. They're not pretty bikes like, you know, the muscle cruisers over there or the or the sport bikes. They're not flashy. They're not sleek. They're kind of dopey looking. I mean, they all are. I don't care if it's a Tanneray or what. They kind of have this weird, tall, goofy looking, ostrich looking, dumb bird kind of look about them. And when you think about a bike that you want to take out in the field, I mean, this thing is your camp bike. This is like your camp gun or your camping gear. It's not like top quality shit. It's just shit that works year after year. And you find something that works, and it's, you know, you don't mind if you lose it, you know. And working on these bikes is simple. I mean, it's a single cylinder 650, which is the biggest size single you can really get before stuff starts breaking. You know, and it's got, you know, decent 21-inch wire spoke wheels, 17-inch wire spoke in the back. It's chain drive. The brakes are decent. I mean, they're kind of spongy, but I ripped the shit out of this bike, and I will tell you, the brakes work. You know, and it's not sport bike level braking, but it works. You know, like my My Yamaha has dual discs. It brakes real good for a big bike. This sport bike brakes really good. And that's kind of what you get with these big dumb bikes. You don't want to do a whole lot of braking and wipe the front end out. But they do work. And when you're out camping and doing stuff in the dirt, you're not going 100 miles per hour. So 40 mile or 40 horsepower, 40 pound-foot of torque is probably the sweet spot. You know, I just wish this thing was lighter. You know, maybe if they made this tank plastic instead of metal. You know, it is metal. The crash bars added more weight to it. So right now this bike is probably sitting at almost 500 pounds with the gear and the crash bars and the skid plate. It's just a heavy bike. But as far as giving it up, I'm not really sure that I need anything more than this. It's just like the Swiss Army knife, do everything. I mean, just gets everything done, and that's it. And it's not really a super duper fun bike. But I will tell you, when you got this exhaust cranked up, you know, and it's hitting, and it's barking and popping like it was, it's actually quite fun. I can't do wheelies on this. I've tried with the crash bars and stuff. I bet I could if it was from like a stop and I just ripped it all the way. But this is not a wheeling machine. But you can load it up with all your shitty gear and take your mediocre ADV bike out there and do anything. I mean, this thing can go anywhere if you're willing to take it. I'm going to need to upgrade the tires. This is about 5,000 miles on this bike right now, and the tires are bald. So like right here, it's almost flush. So, yeah, KLR, not an ultra great bike. It's really not. But this is exactly what you want for a camp bike. It's a Swiss Army knife, gets everything done, isn't super duper, you know, expensive. I bought this brand new for about $7,000, $8,000, somewhere in the middle of that. Brand new. I would probably buy it used if I could get a good nice one. Like if someone wanted to buy this bike used, it would be a hell of a deal with what it's got and what it can do. So yeah, KLR, it's good. It's a solid bike. It's not the best, but it'll get a lot of shit done, and it's the perfect camp bike because it's not complicated, it's not expensive, and it just does everything. And it's not going to be super fun, but you know, you don't take your best shit out there to the woods, you know. So I hope you enjoyed my review, my honest review. Even though I kind of shitted on this bike a little bit, this bike does exactly what it says it does. You know, it's a donkey. I mean, it's literally a loud, obnoxious donkey, and it does donkey shit. And donkeys aren't out there winning races, you know. So yeah, here's my clumsy bird, big bird. Hope you enjoyed the video. And to be honest with you, I do like this bike. I think I'll keep it for a long time. I knew when I bought it brand new that I was going to keep it for a while. So this is going to be my bike until, you know, my skills get way better or it just dies. So, and with Motul 7100 in there, I just rip the shit out of this bike. Just all the time. Relentless. Beat the shit out of it and rip it as hard as I can. Not abuse it, but I rip that throttle like nothing else. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Holler at me. Let me know if you guys got any questions. But yeah, highly recommend this bike. It is what it is.